Finally, I have had a few issues today because I somehow managed to put the event was taking place at 1 o'clock, which it doesn't. I haven't changed the time yet. So today's question is, what is intellectual property? And intellectual property can also be referred to as intellectual capital. And it is the thing that you are inspired to create, so to speak. Let me share this book. As you may have seen before, I wrote this. I started writing it back in 2016, right after my mother passed away. And I own the copyright to that. And copyright is an intellectual property. In this book, I explain about all the other types of intellectual property. And let me just quickly open up and tell you. So there's copyright, there's trademarks, of course. There are design rights, and then there's patents. So intellectual property is like the umbrella, and underneath it you have all of those different subjects. And if you can hear noise in the background, hello, whoever you are that's watching, thank you so much for watching with me. So do say hello, though, if you want to. If you don't want to, don't feel pressured, but I do appreciate you being there. If you can hear noise in the background, somebody is having fun with a chainsaw nearby. So intellectual property, as I said, is like a book. It's also, if you are like a coach, it can be the program you've created to take people through. It can also be a system that you've created. It can also be a process. It doesn't really matter what you call it. The main thing is that it all falls under the category intellectual property. So if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to pop them underneath and I can address them. If you don't have any questions, don't worry about that. That's totally fine. I appreciate you being here either which way. So another example of intellectual property is a film. There are several different types of intellectual property connected to the film. There's the manuscript, there's the performance by the actors, there's the celluloid back in the olden days that the films were shot on. Today it's sometimes shot digitally, sometimes it's shot still on celluloid and then transferred into a digital medium to become edited. And even the edits will be intellectual property. The sound recording is intellectual property. All the merchandise related to the film is part of the intellectual property. So there's a lot of different things that are considered intellectual property. What else can we talk about? Well, something as mundane as your dinner service. If it is made by somebody who has gone to certain lengths of designing it and making it look in a particular way, if it's just, plain white and generic, it's not so much intellectual property. As soon as somebody has put thought and care into the end product, that's when it becomes part of something that can be protected as intellectual property. So the dinner service itself might not, depends on what it is, but it might not itself be intellectual property, but it can certainly be part of somebody else's intellectual property because they put their trademark onto it. And we're back to trademarks here. And so that's intellectual property because the trademarks fall underneath, as I said at the very beginning. Something else, our phones. Doesn't matter which trademark they are still branded with somebody's trademark. It can be Samsung, it can be whatever they're called. Sony, I think, also has phones. Apple has phones. There's so many different ones out there. Your laptop, your tablet, your clothes. Yeah, all of it. I'm not going to show you, but yeah, even like these Post-its, they are registered trademarks. You probably can't see it because it's, oops, it's a very, very small R in the circle that sits there. But Post-it is a registered trademark. So, and I would even say that our makeup for women, well, sorry about that. I didn't mean to say that. Anybody can wear makeup. Doesn't have to be women alone. Sorry about that. So I don't want to offend anyone here. Makeup is also often branded with a trademark and thus falls into intellectual property. So you see there are loads of different things, even cars and other forms of transportation. So today's question is, what is intellectual property? And I have been doing my very best to answer that. If you do have any question, now's the time to pop them in so that I can address them and answer them for you in case you want me to. In case you don't want me to, don't worry about it. There is no pressure. You can do precisely what you want. I'm just going to leave a few moments here if anybody is wanting to ask any questions. I will put a link to my book so that if you want to know more about the different intellectual property. Oh, I don't have the link right here, don't I? Hang on. Let me have a proper look. Yes, it's right here. That is, oh, maybe I should also show it just for fun. So that's the link to where you can buy my book. You can also buy it on Amazon for those of you who prefer to do that. That is not a problem. Sorry, that was a notification. Yeah, so if you are wanting to know more about all the intellectual property, you can buy this. It's a very, very thin book, as you can tell, well thumbed by me, because this is my copy. When you buy the physical book from me, you do get a dedication in it from me, personal dedication. If you buy it on Amazon, I can't obviously do that. And if you get the audiobook, I can't do that either. But thank you so much for being here with me today. And I shall look forward to seeing you next Tuesday, where it is still 12 noon. I haven't changed it yet because this seems to work quite well. So if you have any suggestions as to topics that I might take up in these LinkedIn Lives that is relevant to either trademarks, copyrights, or intellectual property. I don't do patents very well, and I don't do design very well. But you can find a lot of answers in this as well. So thank you for tuning in. It has been an absolute pleasure, as always, to be here and to serve you to the best of my ability. There's been no questions popping in. That's why I'm wrapping it up now after approximately 10 minutes of me waffling around about intellectual property. If you haven't heard what I was talking about, do go back and catch it from the very beginning. Or you can find it on YouTube as well. Sorry. Do subscribe to both my LinkedIn and my YouTube channels and click the bell so that you get notified anytime. I don't know what's going on today. My brain is all over the place. Anyway, so yeah, so that you know exactly when I put out new content, because that's what it's all about. So either which way, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday, 12 noon UK time, 1 p.m. Europe. So thank you so much. Bye for now.